I had disliked a lot of things that he was saying, and how he was acting, and that, I'm a real individual. I just felt like, he was all cool at one point in time. Now remember this. No, I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now, imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36, and we fight. 24 world champions, 5 divisions, conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because he's undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fall great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford.
In a fiery live interview, Terence Crawford sent a bold message to Floyd Mayweather and the boxing world. Crawford declared that Mayweather's era is finished, his reign already sealed in history. With confidence, he announced that the torch has been passed and this is now his time to rule. Positioning himself as the face of today's generation, Crawford made it clear, boxing's present and future run through him, not the past.
Broadcast for Jake and Tyson, and some people like the likes of Carl Froch viewed that as an endorsement. Like, look, man, I'm just working. It's a big opportunity to be on Netflix. I didn't put the fight together. I'm not paying these guys. So, let's chill out. But all right, I'm not going to poo-poo this. I just don't know what CSI is. And the way it was presented made me think that there was like a secondary press release to come, that they'll be involved in like some sort of like virtual boxing thing. Like, it just didn't seem real. You know why it didn't seem real? I'll tell you why. There's no date attached to it. There's no venue attached to it. Forget rules, exhibition, not exhibition, weight. I mean, here's a guy who fought a heavyweight fighting forget all that. These things can get figured out, the fine details. The fact that it was announced, why announce something with no date or location attached to it? What's the point? Unless you're just trying to get people excited and trying to get them, trying to get some investors or something like that.
But maybe also testing the waters. If the response is overwhelmingly positive, maybe you go, okay, we move forward. If the response is muted or negative, maybe you go, okay, we're not going to actually do this. You lob it out there as a way to poll the public, and then make an adjustment.
So you don't think it happens?
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again.
Floyd Mayweather recently reminded the world of his own dominance over Canelo Alvarez, pointed out that he schooled Canelo when he was already older and past his physical prime, proving his unmatched skill and ring IQ. According to Floyd, Terence Crawford's win over Canelo should not be exaggerated, since both victories came against the same man. For Mayweather, his triumph stands taller, keeping his legacy above Crawford's.
Canelo is a hell of a fighter. He's a hell of a fighter. And everyone is now saying that he's not the same fighter. He's not looking the same. Now remember this. No, I was older than Canelo is when I beat Canelo. So now, imagine seeing Canelo at 36 and me at 36, and we fight. And now what y'all gonna say? Well, now he got what? I don't know how many fights.
Some analysts argue that Terence Crawford's greatness cannot yet be measured alongside Floyd Mayweather's. They point to Floyd's flawless 50-0 record, a benchmark of perfection that Crawford has not matched. Simply defeating elite names like Canelo Alvarez, they say, is not enough to elevate him above Mayweather's legacy. Instead, experts suggest Crawford must take even greater risks, such as moving up in weight to face David Benavidez, a relentless and physically imposing threat. Beating Benavidez would not only silence critics but also prove Crawford's fearlessness and versatility against one of boxing's most dangerous challenges. Until then, many insist his achievements, though historic, still fall short of Mayweather's untouchable standard.
You look at Floyd's record, right? Floyd's legacy is 50-0, 24 world champions, 5 divisions, conquered, best defender of all time, right? Bud Crawford surpasses him in accolades because he's undisputed in 3 divisions. Both of them are fighters that fall great into their late 30s. However, Floyd has a deeper resume than Bud Crawford. But both of their best wins are Canelo Alvarez. Canelo was a younger, greener Canelo when Floyd beat him. Bud beat an older, stronger, but more seasoned Canelo. Now, Bud's not going to surpass Floyd because of the record. He's not going to make 50-0. Bud has to separate himself. What he has to do is do something that Floyd didn't do. Take on the challenges that people are scared for you to take. Just that's what separates Leonard and Durant from the rest. If Bud Crawford beats David Benavidez, he will surpass Floyd Mayweather as far as on the all-time list. As of right now, if Bud Crawford retires, I would have him somewhere around the top 5, top 7.
Trainer Robert Garcia offered a very different perspective on Terence Crawford's future. In Garcia's eyes, Crawford is too smart to gamble his legacy by stepping in with David Benavidez. He argued that Crawford is a calculated fighter, one who understands how to secure his place in history without taking reckless risks. Benavidez, with his size, power, and relentless style, represents a dangerous mountain to climb. One wrong night could shatter Crawford's unbeaten record. For Garcia, the risk simply outweighs the reward. Crawford already owns an incredible resume, and chasing a fight outside his natural division isn't necessary to prove greatness. This clash of opinions fuels the ongoing debate: risk everything or protect perfection.
There's no way. Crawford just got the biggest win in his career and one of the biggest wins in history. He doesn't need to go out there and risk. This is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do it.
Jeff Mayweather, uncle of Floyd, shared his honest take on Terence Crawford's win over Canelo Alvarez. He acknowledged that Crawford clearly outboxed Canelo, but stressed that this fight should not be used as the ultimate measuring stick. In Jeff's view, Canelo was no longer the same fighter he once was. The sharpness, the snap, and the power in his punches simply weren't there. Jeff reminded fans that before this fight, critics constantly questioned Crawford's resume and level of opposition. And now, even after beating Canelo, some are still finding ways to downplay his achievement. For Jeff, the win was impressive, no doubt, but it has to be kept in context. Beating a past prime Canelo doesn't automatically silence all criticism.
Canelo knocks him out in the first half of the fight because he couldn't handle the power. And obviously that proved not to be the case. And Crawford definitely handled it. Were you surprised? And, it didn't look like, maybe once or twice it looked like maybe Crawford felt it, but never in any kind of real trouble.
Yeah, I don't think that. He hit him a couple times to me, but Crawford, a big guy too. Crawford took it like nothing. He hit Canelo a few times. Canelo took it as well. Basically, at the end of the day, they both took each shot from each other. Crawford just didn't get hit as well.
Do you think that was, a case of, you can't, Canelo's a guy that's not out there throwing huge combinations, that he's, more of a, punch at a time kind of guy, and that's not going to work against someone as slick and talented as Bud Crawford.
Yeah, basically, Canelo was a big shot, not a big shot on the first Crawford, but Crawford wasn't having it. And then Crawford caught at times that, I guess, they thought, I need to, do a little bit more. Basically, and it seemed like he just did that. Let his hands go.
Legendary fighter Roy Jones Jr. didn't hold back when speaking on Floyd Mayweather's legacy. He argued that outside of his win over Canelo Alvarez, Floyd rarely faced the very best fighters of his era at their absolute peak. According to Jones, many of Floyd's biggest victories came against opponents who were either smaller in size, older in age, or simply past their prime years. This raises the question, how can Mayweather be universally labeled the greatest when the timing of his matchups often seem to favor him? For Jones, Floyd's 50-0 record is historic, but the quality of opposition leaves room for debate, especially when you compare him to versatile champions like Terence Crawford, who continues to chase greatness across divisions.
Floyd Mayweather top 5?
No, not in my book. No.
Not even top 10?
Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, but not
Maybe
top 5.
top.
Maybe top 10, but not top 5. 'Cause Floyd can fight, don't get it wrong. Floyd can fight. But here's what my problem is. Well, I understand, I know you're a Floyd fan. Here's my problem. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought? Only Canelo. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. He know he's going to prison when he get through. Then to take it even further,
For Cotto.
Cotto was on his level. Wait. Stop. Let me finish first. Cotto.
You asked me a question.
Cotto already was done. And Cotto an all-time great? No. Cotto's all-time Puerto Rican great. Cotto's not an all-time great in boxing.
I agree with you.
He's an all-time Puerto Rican great. All right, so that's not a great fight. That's not on your level. Pacquiao. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. You would have fought him 4 years ago. But both of y'all were here. We to find out who the best was. You waited till Marquez knocked him out, now you fought him. If I wait till somebody beat James Toney before I fight him, do I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time because I beat James Toney?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. So my point is, you didn't do it the right way. You know that. Who else did you fight? Them biggest best two names you can pull up besides Canelo.
What I'm saying is that who do you think around that time would have even beaten Floyd that he didn't?
So my point is, I'm not gonna say who would.
I can't name a person.
I'm not gonna say who would have beat Floyd. Like I said, I'm just saying Floyd never fought nobody that was another equal. He didn't fight a James Toney. He didn't go looking for a James Toney.
At the end of the day, Terence "Bud" Crawford's victory over Canelo Alvarez will be remembered as a turning point in boxing history. Becoming the first male fighter to capture undisputed gold in 3 divisions is a once-in-a-lifetime accomplishment that secures his place among the all-time greats. Whether you rank him above Mayweather or not, there's no denying we are witnessing greatness in real time. This era belongs to Crawford, and the story is still being written. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe, share, and smash that like button for more epic boxing content.